A very good morning to everyone present over here. At the very outset of this auspicious Republic Day, I, Aritra Gupta of grade 9th, would like to render a hearty and patriotic welcome to dignified Chairman Sir, Mr. S.D. Sharma, Honorable Director Sir, Mr. Alok Sharma, respected Principal Ma'am and Headmistress Ma'am. Also, revered Chief Guest, respected teachers, and my fellow students watching the stream. As our first Prime Minister of independent India quotes, long years ago we made a tryst with destiny, and now the time comes when we shall redeem our pledge, not wholly or in full measure, but very substantially. At the stroke of the midnight hour, when the world sleeps, India will awake to life and freedom. These are not mere words. These are the great significant words that powered India after the new constitution was adopted back in 26 January 1950. The Constitution of India is a huge document which lays down procedures, powers, duties, fundamental rights, and directive principles of government and its citizens. The governing principle of the Indian Constitution is of the people, for the people, and by the people, which signifies that the power is vested in the hands of the citizens of India. After India proclaimed Purna Swaraj, the long handwritten constitution, the set of fundamentals of the land, finally came into existence. It has been a long and proud journey since then, and today we proudly commemorate the 72nd Republic Day of India against all the odds to keep the sanctity of the Republic high and pride. Okay, a lot of talks now. Let us now begin with the flag hoisting event directly aired from the school. Let's move on.
While camera sharing, it will not happen.
Before the flag hoisting starts, let me tell all of you something about the flag. In the national flag of India, the top band is of saffron color, indicating the strength and courage of the country. The white middle band indicates peace and truth with the Dharma Chakra, while the last band is green in color, which shows the growth and auspiciousness of the land. So let's get the flag hoisted. Now here it goes. As you all can see, Principal Ma'am, Headmistress Ma'am, and all the dignified teachers moving around to unfurl the national flag. Here it goes. Top goes the Indian flag on the 72nd Republic Day. I would request all of you to please pay attention here. A great significant movement. Yes, here it goes, unfurling Indian flag. All the drums beating and paying attention to them. The flag finally gets hoisted. And we welcome you to 72nd Republic Day celebrations of Asian International School. Directly aired from school campus, the flag gets hoisted and unfurls its color. Now it's a wonderful start begin. The school flag following its behind. All the teachers gathering. And three flags getting hoisted finally. The beautiful scenery of morning. Patriotism all around. House flags, Gandhi House, Einstein House, slowly being unfurled. Now we move on to the next houses. Teresa House, namely Blue House, Ashoka House, namely Green House. Flags gets hoisted. And finally, this day reminds of our freedom struggle and how the great freedom fighters of our country who sacrificed their lives. It's because of the struggle today that we are living in a democratic country where each citizen has the basic rights. A great welcome to all of you. Okay, now I would request everyone present over here to please stand up for the national anthem. Let the national anthem be played.
जनगणमन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता
पंजाब सिंध
विंध्य हिमाचल गंगा उच्चल जलंधर तब शुभ नामे जागे तब शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तब जय गाथा जनगण मंगल नायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Thank you, Anita ma'am. Now we move on to the next event. A medley of patriotic songs now to be played to infuse nationalism and mark this day by the students of class 11th and 12th. Let the music play.
जान से प्यारा है सबसे न्यारा गुलिस्तां हमारा सदियों से भारत भूमि दुनिया की शान है। भारत माँ की रक्षा में जीवन कुर्बान है। भारत हमको जान से प्यारा है। सबसे न्यारा रिश्ता हमारा है। जरा सुनो तुम्हारे गुंजनी, छोड़ के चली जाऊंगी। जरा सुनो तुम्हारे गुंजनी, छोड़ के चली जाऊंगी। यीशु स्वदेश वाले मोहनी करो, से नहीं तो चले छोड़ो चुप। जरा जीरो जाने के जानो अच्छा, वतन मेरे आबाद रहे तू, मैं जहाँ रहूं जहाँ में याद रहे तू। ऐ वतन मेरे वतन, ऐ वतन मेरे वतन, तू ही मेरी मंजिल है पहचान तुझी से। तू ही मेरी मंजिल है पहचान तुझी से। पहुंचूं मैं जहाँ भी मेरी बुनियाद रहे तो, पहुंचूं मैं जहाँ भी मेरी बुनियाद रहे तू। ऐ वतन वतन मेरे आबाद रहे तू, मैं जहाँ रहूं जहाँ में याद रहे तू। ऐ वतन मेरे वतन, ऐ वतन। কোথায় গেলে পাবে কেহ ওমা তোমার চরণ দুটি পক্ষে আমার ধরি। আমার এই দেশেতে জন্ম যেন এই দেশেতেই মরি। এমন দেশকে কোথাও খুঁজে পাবে না গো তুমি। সকল দেশের রানী সেজে আমার জন্মভূমি, সে যে আমার জন্মভূমি, সে যে আমার জন্মভূমি। ओ देश मेरे तू जीता रहे, तूने शेर के बच्चे पाले हैं। एक लाल हुआ बलिदान तो क्या 100 लाल तेरे रखवाले हैं। तेरी मिट्टी में मिल जावा गुल बन के मैं खिल जावा। इतनी सी है दिल की आरज़ू, तेरी नदियों में बह जावा, तेरे खेतों में लहरावा। इतनी सी है दिल की आरज़ू।
Now that was a splendid performance. Next, I would request our respected principal ma'am, Mrs. Vijay Lakshmi Kumar, to enlighten us with her revered words.
I hope I'm audible.
Yes, ma'am, you are perfectly fine.
Thank you so much, Arithro. Good morning, everyone. On this pleasant morning and auspicious occasion of our national festival,
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning.
I extend my greetings to our chairman, sir, Shri S.D. Sharma ji, our director, sir, Shri Alok Sharma ji, our mentor, Nidhi ma'am, our headmistress, Srimati Simran Sanghera, dear teachers, children, parents of our school, and the learned audience. On this day, when the longest handwritten document in the world was prepared and brought to the light of every Indian, we were shown the path of regimentation and discipline. Our constitution complemented the much desired and deserved independence that we had earned a couple of years prior to our Republic Day. To the best of my understanding, I decipher the significance of our constitution, which is to be an important, which is important to be aligned and follow set norms. Norms help us to reach the path of success, to treat the path of success. This year's celebration stands even closer to the heart of every Indian because we are into the 75th year of our independence. Thereby, we are into the merriment of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. The Mahotsav of Azadi can turn into Amrit only with self-control, self-regulation, and discipline. However, with this merriment comes the responsibility of contributing to the growth of country. To the children of our school, my message would be that create a chain of change, for which even smaller steps would matter. So from today until 15th of August 2022, we exactly have 200 days. Let's take a pledge that within these 200 days, we all learn a minimum of 75 good habits or skills that must upgrade us. This would be our tribute to our nation. And this learning of skills could be anything from being a help to your parents and people around you. It could mean becoming more self-dependent, and many such steps can be taken up. Joining us on this day of commemoration, we have our chief guest, a frontline corona warrior, Dr. Ashok Mittal. Good morning, sir. An MBBS, an MD in pediatrics. Sir holds a fellowship in neonatology from United Kingdom, as well as an integrated fellowship in perinatal neonatal medicine from University of Toronto, Canada. Dr. Mittal did his medical schooling from Calcutta Medical College, and then he moved to Lucknow to do his master's in pediatrics from King George's Medical College, which is under Lucknow University. He joined LNJP Hospital after his MD and taught postgraduate students in Delhi University for almost 3 years. He was fascinated by how sick newborns were treated in neonatal intensive care unit with complex issues, and hence he decided to dedicate his life to the cause. He rejoined his hometown Kolkata to start the NICU of Apollo Gleneagles Hospital. His urge to see how newborn care is practiced in the Western world took him to the United Kingdom and finally to Toronto, Canada, where he completed 3 years of a long integrated structured training program in this arena. Later, after finishing his training and with a huge work experience in neonatology, Sir joined NICE Foundation of Hyderabad to start the first ever Center of Excellence in Southeast Asia, created exclusively for newborns on a public-private partnership model. This 120-bed hospital for babies soon became one of the safest places for newborns in the country, especially those from the less privileged section of the society could enjoy the benefits to the core. As Dr. Mittal and his team started to treat babies with severe illness under AP government's Arogya Shri scheme, where the families got world-class treatment without having to pay even a single penny. Dr. Mittal currently heads the state-of-art neonatal intensive care unit at Medica Super Speciality Hospital, Kolkata, which is equipped with the latest gadgets. This unit is managed by a team of highly qualified and committed professionals who are guided by Dr. Mittal. We express our gratitude for the services you have been providing to the society, sir, and we are honored to have you with us this morning. We welcome you on behalf of Asian International School and shall now request your kind self to illuminate us with a few words. Over to you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, everyone, for having me here. Am I audible and visible? Is it okay?
Yes, absolutely fine.
All right. So, thank you, Principal Ma'am, and other people of the school to have me here. I really feel honored to be a chief guest of a school on this very, very auspicious day of 26th January. And I'm very thankful, so gratitude from the heart. My introduction has been given very, very elaborately by Principal Ma'am, so I would not go into it. My gratitude goes along with congratulations to all of you who are there on the platform, because you all are actually COVID survivors. So you are the chosen ones whom the nature wanted to, live happily and merrily today. Otherwise, in last 2 years, the mayhem that we have seen has left us speechless, and it's been a very, very difficult time, extremely difficult time for us, for the entire country, and in fact, the entire globe. Now, coming to the Republic Day, as you all know, it's the day when Constitution was implemented, and then a sovereign country was formed, which would be led and governed by Parliament, rule of the land, and all the things were established as the law-abiding citizen, what all you need to practice. So that was in 1950, pretty much after 28 months of gaining our independence. So if you draw an analogy, a parallel, you would see that 28 months it took for free people to become law-abiding citizens, right? And similarly, you need 28 years, not months, to become, that is when you kind of attain all your graduation, post-graduation. I did my post-graduation as 28. And then once I became the front line warrior or a player, then the responsibility comes more. Your teachers have done their job. You become 28, you got your master's degree in hand, and now you are there to practice whichever profession you are, not necessarily being a doctor, but then whichever profession you are in, you need to then practice after 20 years. And obviously it's a continuous phenomenon, but then you have to exhibit and practice ultimate due respect to everyone, equitability, and your professionalism will also speak to the rest of the society. So I think these 28 years or 28 months draw a good analogy. Now, we must prepare ourselves to a law-based, uniform, secular society, which is the essence of this Republic Day. It is the day which marks equitability. It is the day which marks, democracy. We are the largest democracy in the world, So my role, I think there are two sect of people who are extremely important. Everybody is important. I truly mean it. But then if you, after Roti Kapda Makan, I think the two more important things are health and education. So if there is any other profession which is at an equal pedestal as health, I think that's education. And you teachers are doing a commendable job in that. I truly mean it. It is not just today that I'm saying this, but this is something that I often tell to my parents who are teachers, that we have a lot of respect for you, because you make the foundation. And if we keep the child happy and healthy, you are the one which make them wise and intelligent. Now, I will, during my session, I will also speak about the difference between knowledge and wisdom, or intelligence and wisdom. And that is something which is my message to you stakeholders of the school, and also to the parents of the students. Now, let me start with when I went to Canada. In India, we get first-class education, medical education, no doubt about it. Primarily because our teachers were too good, and secondly because we get a lot of patients to actually learn from. The OPD is full of patients. The inpatient department is full of patients. You want to learn how a murmur or extra sound in the heart feels like or sounds like, you have got 25 patients lined up for you who'll be more than happy to put your stethoscope on the chest and learn from it. When we dissected a cadaver, I always, in my heart, said my gratitude that because of your body part, say a limb was cut, an upper arm was cut, or even just a hand was cut and given to me on a table for dissection and understanding how the nerves and vessels look like, it's an honor for me to sort of dissect that, and then a lot of gratitude should happen, although the person has died and everything. But the Lavaris body coming to such a useful purpose should also invite gratefulness. That is what I'm trying to tell our children, that you need to have a lot of gratitude for what you all are getting today. You are only worried about future, but what you have already achieved today, a good family, nice set of parents, good teachers, good schooling, this is enough of blessing. So when I went to Canada, I was introduced to a different kind of system, which is called CanMed system. So Canadian Medical School Rules and Regulation. And I have sent a graphic to Principal Ma'am. It basically, if it can be shown, I will be more than happy, but otherwise it's okay. It is basically a clover leaf with medical expertise at the center, but then there are total 7 roles of a medical professional that the state of Canada wants you to become. And I think this applies to the entire globe, because doctors need not be just about, writing medicines or prescriptions or writing some laboratory investigations. It's more about a lot of things. And I have elaborated that. Obviously, medical expertise remains at the core. And the clover leaf has got 6 other leaves. And these are collaboration, collaborator, communication, number 2, and then you have the leadership qualities, then you have the health advocacy, you have the scholarly attitude, and the right professional attitude. So these are the 7 CanMed's role that we were taught. In this, I would like to mention especially about health advocacy. When we call ourselves child specialist, or say in my case child specialist, or in other case neurologist or cardiologist, it basically means we are advocating positive health in the society. And positive health cannot be attained just by visiting a doctor's clinic or a hospital just for an ailment. It has to be more preventive and promotive rather than curative. You all have heard prevention is better than cure. But then what is actual positive health? And if you go by the Google, it will show you the WHO definition of positive health as a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not just absence of disease or infirmity. So the fact that you do not have diabetes, hypertension, you don't smoke, doesn't make you healthy. It makes you healthy only when you're physically healthy, you're mentally sane, and you're socially acceptable. Now, coming to the social aspect, I know you people will make a clone of very intelligent students who score very high. Many of them will become doctor, engineer, lawyer. But then what the point I want to make is they are like different kites in the sky with all their colors brightened. Let them become what they want. And parents and teachers should also encourage them to follow the passion, because when the passion becomes a profession, I think the best comes out. All right. So even if they want to become a YouTuber or a blogger or a writer or a journalism or any other stream, or a guitarist maybe, and playing in some concerts or anything that makes them feel very, very passionate about, I think one should let that happen, because that's where the person's inner calling is probably. We don't know what we think today about ourselves that we would do in future, whether it actually happens or not. Man proposes, God disposes, आपने सुना होगा. लेकिन I think the inner calling is what leads you rather than what you actually try to get into. So आप कोशिश मत करें, आप अपने मन की सुने, और जो आपका मन कहता है उस तरफ जाएं. Your teachers and your parents, I'm sure, are going to be more than supportive. Now, health advocacy, as I said, prevention and promotion. What do I mean by prevention and promotion? It's more about promotion of good lifestyle, nutrition, physical exercise, prevention of vaccine preventable diseases by giving vaccinations. And now COVID is at the peak, and we all have seen, you all know about vaccination, importance of vaccination. We'll talk about COVID a little bit at the end. So overall good health practices, so that our next generation, don't fall ill, is what prevention and promotion is all about. कि वो बीमार ही ना पड़े कि आपको hospital जाना पड़ा. I often give an analogy to my parents that if you suppose live 75 years, the first 25 years you study very, very hard, very, very hard. Still my nightmare is actually an exam for which I'm not prepared. That's my nightmare. So education at say first 25 years roughly, you work very, very hard to study. Next 25 to 50 years, you work very, very hard to earn your money, livelihood. And if that entire money goes into, a hospital for taking care of your health between 50 and 75, do you really think your child should have studied so hard and worked so hard to give the money, all the money give away to the hospitals for their health or the pharmacy for their medicines? No, that cannot be the reason of education and work, professional work. I think it's about how each child is going to contribute to the society, to the community, to the family, to the friends, to the community. So those things are more important. Coming to the parenting, I often do a parenting workshop where I teach, apart from nutrition and lifestyle, the soft skills. The soft skills development are very, very important. What are soft skills? Soft skills are things which will make you socially adaptable, socially likable. And why I'm so hell-bent on social likability is because I've also forwarded a link of a TED talk by Robert Waldinger, and Principal ma'am has that. If you want, you can share it with all. I think everybody needs to go through this. This is the longest ever study done in the history of medicine, 75-year-long study. Actually, it involves 6 to 7 generations of investigators or scientists to complete the study. And the study results are already out in the form of a TED talk, which says that, most people, millennials, who were asked, what is the most important thing that you want? They said, I want to have a lot of wealth. 80% of children, actually, millennial adults, told that the number one thing they want is wealth. Now, that is something which is very worrying for me. Wealth will follow. It will follow. If you follow wealth, you'll be in brain. But if you follow your passion and profession with all the 7 roles that I said, wealth will follow you. So it is the difference between what you are chasing or the thing is chasing you. So it's more deeper than you think. But then it's all about qualification versus, likability, popularity. It's all about intelligence quotient versus social quotient or emotional quotient, EQ. And it's all about reputed professional versus a good, honest, genuine, likable human being. So that is what we should hope for in with our children, and our education should also be, tailored for that. In fact, one of the school on which I sit on the board of Safety Security Council, a very popular school in Calcutta, I have actually proposed at least once a fortnight, 1 hour class on spiritual teaching, which will spiritual teaching is nothing to do with religion. Let me not confuse you. Religion is something very, very separate. Spiritual is your life Bible, or the life book, a manual. The TV or the fridge comes with a user manual. Do we have a user manual when we come out of our mother's womb? We don't. But actually, if you find out, there are a lot of scriptures in every religion. Me being Hindu, I practice Gita, and whenever I have a confusing state, what to do, I refer to the book and I always get an answer. Trust me. Coming to the relationships. So this study showed that it is only happy relationships in your life that makes you happy and healthy. 75-year study, I'm telling you in 7 seconds. It is not fame, name, wealth, which gives you happy and long life. It is how many healthy, happy relationships you had. By relationship, I do not mean boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife. I mean all kind of relationships with your family, with your friends, and with your community. Community is very important. And I think the first teachers are actually parents. It's not the school teachers, because you often go at, when you are 5 or 6, or even nowadays, though 2.5 years, they are into school, which again, I have problems with. I think that's a very tender age for children to go to school. But then 6 years, typically a rough ballpark where a basic amount of understanding and intelligence develops in a child. And at that age, uh, by that time, if the parents, who are the first teacher of the child, do not teach the right kind of value, if you give value or gratitude to your domestic helper and help his child, that is what your child is looking at and learning. If you lie to your boss on a phone, all the child is learning is actually lying. If you bribe the child with the thing that, okay, if you go to Dr. Mittal for vaccination, I'll give you a KFC treat. What are you teaching to your child? You are teaching him corruption, that you do this, I'll do this for you, give and take. So I prefer telling children, teaching them what is fact, this is what you have to do. And so these are things that I often include in my talk on parenting. Coming to the virus and vaccines, I think this is something that Principal Ma'am also, and I'm pretty sure that you all know more than me, because social media is full of information. In fact, I sometimes, when parents tell me, sir, a notun medicine beriyeche, notun ei beriyeche, amra acha beriyeche ki, because we as doctors do not start practicing that medicine or that modality of treatment unless it is backed by robust evidence. You have seen exactly 2 years ago when certain papers came in world-class journal called Lancet, and then few months later, the articles were recalled because it was found that the article writer was influenced with a lot of money. And so what I'm trying to say, unless we doctors have evidence behind prescribing something, we will not, because we always weigh risk and benefit. Every drug has got risk. So if the benefit is more than the risks, then only we will advise you, right? That is our job. So I think vaccine efficacy, we've seen a surge, the third wave so-called. There may be small little waves, but I think we are moving towards endogenicity. So pandemic is when the whole globe is involved. Epidemic is when a particular area of the world is involved. And endemic is when a low-grade level of infection is always there in that particular area. So I think we are slowly moving towards endemicity, which is a good thing, because that is what the herd immunity actually brings out for us. I can say I don't have the data to support, because the testing of virus and genomic sequencing has not been optimal in any part of the world, not just India. But then I think almost all of us, 80 to 90%, have been touched by this virus. Whether the initial Wuhan one, or the Delta one, or the Omicron one, and do not think that an infection against a particular variant of COVID virus will give you immunity for the rest of the strain. That may not actually be the truth. In fact, the vaccine efficacy may also not be useful for rest of the variants. We have to see a lot of things. I can only tell you in short, please continue to do not feel very, very relaxed that you're out of the pandemic. The pandemic is yet not over. We must behave COVID appropriate, exhibit COVID appropriate behavior, which is washing hands, cleanliness, maintaining distance, avoiding crowding, and wearing of mask. Even if it is not N95, even a surgical 3-ply mask would do. And just cover yourself with all the immunization that are available. Obviously, we do not have the best of the vaccine in Indian market, but then whatever we have, that's the only option. If you don't leave your child just because the neighbor's child is very bright or good looking. No, you don't do that. So that is how I would draw the parallel with the India make vaccine. The vaccines are available. Those are ours. We have to adapt to them and we have to accept them. When there will be a choice between a Pfizer vaccine and a Indian made COVID vaccine, it is our individual choice to take a decision. So we will take it then. We will cross the bridge when it comes. As a career options, as the last topic to discuss, I would think that even my children, where they study, the class teacher or the principal ma'am was very shocked when my elder one took humanities rather than science, because we and my wife both are doctors. And so coming from both doctor background, she was very sure that my son, who wanted to take humanity, can be influenced to take the science back. And we said, no, ma'am, we respect his choices. And then later he topped the humanities in West Bengal, and today he's just on his way to UCLA to study his law. He was on a vacation, Christmas vacation, so he's second year law student there. So what I mean to say, the options and opportunities are unlimited. Please don't get हमारे जमाने में, मेरे पिता के समय, उस समय तो लॉयर एक्चुअली बहुत कम आता था नीचे, तब तो डॉक्टर and engineer, as if though becoming a doctor and engineer is the only option, career option available. That's an utter nonsense, in my opinion. Let me tell you, I do not like the fact that parents should only focus on being a doctor or an engineer. Your child can excel in any field. Look at people. I mean, what is your yardstick? If you look at all the top entrepreneur, whether it is Mark Zuckerberg or Steve Jobs or the Tesla owner Elon Musk, nobody is a university graduate. I'm not trying to say do not go to university or do masters. Do everything you want, but that is not assuring you success. And ultimately, even the success or the wealth or the name that comes with it may not be worth it if you're not happy. So be happy and healthy is I think the best thing to look forward to in coming years. And with that, I thank you all for listening to me. Thank you very much.
I am sure by that now we all are hooked with the words. So it was such a treat to listening to you, sir. Thanks a ton.
Thank you very much.
Orithro, you can share the document I had shared with you a little while.
Is it visible?
Yes.
Yeah, so see, this is the CanMed's role. If you see, this is applicable for doctors, but I think this can be applied to any profession: teacher, lawyer, engineer, anything. The medical expertise is the core. You don't come to me if I don't know medical knowledge. You come to me because I have got medical expertise. So that has to be there. That's the core. Kintu tarpor, ami je right rakhi, I'm a good communicator, a good collaborator, good leader for my team that works up there. That is why I'm able to be here and spend some time with you, because I've got a robust team to look after our children. A health advocate, a prevention and promotion of health of child as a whole, not just to the rich and the elite, but as a whole, our children needs to be happy and healthy. That's when the society or the coming world is going to be a better place to live. This corona has taught us that it is a very unpredictable, short living. And if we don't make ourselves livable and if we don't contribute to the community, I think it will be life spent, it's a waste of life, education and everything. So you need to teach your children that apart from the medical or sorry, sort of any school activities or curricular activities, obviously go ahead, do everything, masters, PhD, teach them to be a good human being first, so that this planet becomes a better place to live for generations to come.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Next, I would ask our dignified headmistress, ma'am, Mrs. Simran Sanghera, to speak a few lines about the event.
Am I audible here?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Thank you. A very good morning to our revered chief guest, Dr. Ashok Mittalji. Thank you so much for such enlightening words. I mean, personally, it was really enlightening and encouraging to hear a doctor talk about humanities and talk about being grateful, talk about being, responsible individuals, happy individuals. So thank you, sir. Honorable Chairman, sir, Director, sir, Principal, Madam, esteemed teachers, and my adorable children. As we mark the 73rd Republic Day of our country today, at the very outset, I would like to extend my greetings and good wishes to all of you. This day reminds us of the exemplary courage, great vision and extreme valor of the freedom fighters and the great national leaders that enabled us to be a part of the biggest democracy of the world. As rightly said by the father of our nation, Sri Mahatma Gandhi ji, the highest form of freedom carries with it the greatest measure of discipline and humility. Freedom that comes from discipline and humility cannot be denied, and that is freedom indeed. So I pray and wish that each one of us should emulate our founding fathers and great leaders who had the vision that steered India to Puran Swaraj. May we take the responsibility to treasure it and put them into practice that will enable us to be happy and have a prosperous well-being of all the citizens. At this juncture, we should also remember and be grateful to Dr. B.R. Ambedkar ji and his team for laying a strong constitution. Keeping in mind the strong ethos of the constitution, every student should shoulder the responsibility of building a prosperous nation and pledge to resonate with the true mantra, the true spirit of the tricolor, that is unity in diversity, and contribute towards a brighter tomorrow. In the end, I will close my speech with few lines. ये बात हवाओं को बता रखना, रोशनी होगी चिरागों को जलाए रखना, लहू देकर जिसकी हिफाजत उन्होंने की, ऐसे तिरंगे को दिल में सजाए रखना. एक बारी फिर आप सबको गणतंत्र दिवस की हार्दिक शुभकामनाएं. Thank you once again. Thank you so much, Dr. Ashok Mittal ji, for such wonderful, inspiring words. Jai Hind.
Thank you, ma'am. It was great to hear you. You rightly said those, and surely we will overcome this. It means a lot for our future generations. Next, now we will move on to the performances. A beautiful performance will now be placed of the junior students of classes LKG to 4, the Young Asians Blossom. Let's start.
Good morning, everybody. Today, my topic is Fulton's Constitution and how our common people benefited by it. Constitution is one kind of sacred book which is essential for a free country. To get freedom is not enough. Constitution shows the way how a country will proceed. It also guides how the rights of the people will be preserved. It helps to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic, and political. It allows equality of status and opportunities to all citizens of the country. It promotes among them all fraternity. It assures the dignity of the individual and unity and integrity of the nation. We should always be vigilant to save the Constitution of India at any cost. Wish you a very happy Republic Day. Thank you.
Oh, that was a splendid performance by Young Guns. It's good to see that Young Guns also taking participation in these activities. Let's now move a little bit. The independence that we haven't got or have got still now. Let's take a look at the Mime Act. Let's see what it says, what it conveys to the citizens by the students of class 6 to 8. Let it start.
सारे जहां से अच्छा हिंदुस्ता हमारा हमारा सारे जहां से अच्छा। ये अभी तक गा लिया होगा ना आपने? आजादी भी मना ही ली होगी अभी तक। अजीब है ना हमारा देश, खुद को आजाद भी कहता है पर आजादी मनाने के लिए हमें एक दिन निकालना पड़ता है, क्योंकि बाकी सारे दिन तो हम कैद होते हैं ना। हमें स्कूल में सिखाया गया था कि हम परिंदे हैं, पंख फैलाए फड़फड़ाकर उड़ने के लिए बने हैं, पर जैसे ही उड़ान भरी तो देखा कि पैरों को जंजीरों से बांध रखा था और हम जमीन से बस कुछ फीट ऊंचा उड़ पाए थे। इससे ना दिल में ना उड़ पाने का मलाल रहा, ना ही कैद होने की तकलीफ। हर आवाज हमें तंग करती है, परेशान करती है। आजकल इंसाफ के लिए उठाई हुई आवाज को भी हम शोर ही मानते हैं ना। ऐसा क्यों है कि हम तब भी जागते हैं जब किसी सुनसान सड़क का सन्नाटा किसी लड़की की चीख से टूटता है। वैसे हम जाकर करते भी क्या? मोमबत्ती लिए चलते कुछ कदम और ये भूल जाते कि वो मोमबत्ती सुबह तक का सूरज भी नहीं देख पाती। और क्या वो आजाद है जो अपने ही घर में शिकार है, अपने सपनों को अपनी रसोई में किसी बर्तन के जमे कचरे की तरह वो घिसते चले जाते, घिसते चले जाते, घिसते चले जाते, और फिर उस घर के लोग उसी बर्तन को देखकर कहते हैं वैसे और सब हो सकता था। हमने तो तिरंगे पे भी जंग छेड़ दी। जब भी केसर और हरा मिलते हैं तो डर लगा रहता है कि कहीं सफेद में ना ढक दिए जाए, कि कहीं एक दिन तिरंगा ही सफेद ना हो जाए, कि कहीं एक दिन ये शहर शमशान ना बन जाए। आजादी है ना, बिल्कुल रास्ते के खड्डे की तरह, ये मौजूद हर गली में है, पर इस पर काम कोई नहीं करता। कि मानो आजादी सड़क के उस पार खड़ी और हम सिग्नल पे रुके, जिसका टाइमर हमारे कुछ ना करने की वजह से बस बढ़ते जा रहा है। चलो सरल भाषा में समझाता हूँ। हमें आदत हो गई है हर प्रॉब्लम पर उंगली उठाने की। जहां प्रॉब्लम देखी वहां पे उंगली उठा दी, कभी गवर्नमेंट पे, कभी लॉ सिस्टम पे, कभी पुलिस पे, कभी दुश्मन पे, कभी दोस्त पे, जो आसानी से मिल गया वो, या जिसपे सब जिम्मेदारी थो, क्योंकि आसान है ना। हमें बचपन में सिखाया गया था कि जो एक बार की जाए वो गलती, पर जो बार बार दोहराई जाए वो आदत। और हमें आदत हो चुकी है इंसाफ के नाम पर मोमबत्ती लिए घूमने की। ये आदत बदलते हैं ना, कुछ अलग करते हैं ना। कहते हैं कि the step one to bring a change is to realize that a change is required। और अभी तक मैं सोचता हूँ कि आप समझ गए होंगे कि एक बदलाव की जरूरत है। तो स्टेप 2, एक छोटा सा वीडियो बनाओ और सोशल मीडिया पे डालो। इस वीडियो में ये कहो कि आप देश में बदलाव क्या चाहते हो। कुछ भी हो सकता है। ये मत कहना कि ये हो सकता है लेकिन वो होने नहीं देगा, लेकिन ये नहीं हो पाएगा, लेकिन ये, लेकिन वो। एक दिन ये सारे लेकिन भूल जाओ। बस वो बोलो जो तुम्हें कहना है दिल से, और पोस्ट करो सोशल मीडिया पे, फेसबुक, इंस्टाग्राम, ट्विटर, जो सही लगे वहां पे, और यूज करो हैशटैग कह दी थी बस। इसके बाद क्या होगा मुझे भी नहीं पता। समझ लो मैं भी मोमबत्ती लिए निकला हूं। अगर रोशन हो गया तो अगले साल गर्व से गाएंगे, सारे जहां से अच्छा हिंदुस्तान हमारा हमारा सारे जहां से अच्छा।
That was really deep and great. So now I would take a pause. It's not a part of the show, but I would like to request Dr. Ashok Mittal to say a few words on it, how he feels about the mind. Sir, please, a few words on it.
Actually, this presentation, the just finished, was very nice. I must congratulate the person who has scripted this, the one who was speaking, the words chosen, and the act was too good. It is actually very similar to what I was trying to say in my talk. You know, you know what I wanted to become when I was in class 7 or 8? I was learning classical Indian music. I was a vocalist. And I wanted to go to Mumbai to become a playback singer. Now, my parents did not stop me. It was my own middle class attitude. I was born in a lower middle class family in northern part of the Calcutta. And I thought within myself that given my family background, what if I don't succeed in Mumbai? You know, that time, who were the singers in competition? Kumar Sanu was at the top, Udit Narayan was at the top. I'm talking about that time. And I thought that it's a difficult world. I can go and I probably try to sing. But then what if I fail and then I will never be able to catch the train, which is the education, train of education and professional training. That was my mindset at that point of time. I'm talking about some 30 years ago, 35 years ago. Today's children are much more privileged. Their teachers, their parents, they allow you to, explore yourself, talk to yourself. What do you want to become? Sometimes it's always advisable to write your feelings on a piece of paper and then analyze it later. What all did you think at that point of time? It's very important to maintain a journal of your own mental cloud. I call it cloud because they just come and go. All right. Later, you will not be able to understand what all I thought. So please have a habit of writing on a journal. And based on my passion, which is still there, and I often sing at various functions and on various apps, Star Maker and Spule, I would request permission of Principal Ma'am and Chairman Ma'am to just sing a line on this occasion, if that is permitted.
Sir, it would be a pleasure, sir.
All right. So I'm an ardent fan of Mohammad Rafi Saab. That is my guru, and his song, which depicts the patriotism at its best. Kar chale हम फिदा जानो तन साथियों, अब तुम्हारे हवाले वतन साथियों. कर चले हम फिदा जानो तन साथियों, अब तुम्हारे हवाले वतन साथियों, अब तुम्हारे हवाले वतन साथियों. तो अब ये वतन इन यंग बच्चों के हाथ में है कि वो कहाँ ले जाते हैं. और जैसा कि मैंने कहा, उनकी इनर कॉलिंग को आप तवज्जो दें, उनको बढ़ाएं. बिकॉज कुछ साल पहले जब एप्पल के सीईओ का एक कमेंट आया था तो मुझे बहुत बुरा लगा था. उन्होंने कहा था कि इंडियंस टेकीज आर वेरी गुड एट एज अ वर्कर बी, बट दे आर नॉट द क्वीन बी, बिकॉज द क्वीन बी इज स्टीव जॉब्स. आई वुड वांट, आज दुनिया की जो बड़ी से बड़ी कंपनियां हैं जितने, इंक्लूडिंग यूएस सेनेट आप बोलो, ऑफिसर बोलो, आप गूगल का सीईओ बोलो, आप कुछ भी बोलो, एक इंडियन बैठा है टॉप पे, हैं, सर्विंग दैट मल्टीनेशनल कंपनी व्हिच डज नॉट ऐड सरताज ऑफ इंडिया. मतलब हमारा इंडियन कोई कैप उससे नहीं बढ़ता है. आई एम नॉट अगेंस्ट देम, दे आर डूइंग ग्रेट वर्क, exemplary work wherever they are. But what if we avoid and stop our brain drain to other countries and help them become more innovative? Innovation is going to bring us to the next level. So we have to be the queen bee and not the worker bee. कि हम बाहर चले जाएं और वो काम एक सेट प्रोटोकॉल में करें और सोचे कि हाँ, हमारा बेटा तो बहुत बड़ा, बहुत अच्छी सैलरी पैकेज में है, यूएस में सेटल्ड है, अमेरिका में सेटल्ड है, ऑस्ट्रेलिया में सेटल्ड है, और वी आर वेरी हैप्पी. नो, दैट्स नॉट हैप्पीनेस. सो अगर ये होता है कि हमारे बच्चे इनोवेशन करें, कुछ नया इजाद करें, कोई भी फील्ड में बहुत छोटे छोटे इनोवेशंस, फर्क पड़ता है, छोटी छोटी चीजों से फर्क पड़ता है, वो करें, उसको आप प्रमोट करें, तो आई थिंक इंडिया विल बिकम, it's not tough. If we are the youngest country of the world, we have the maximum percentage of youth in India. If we become innovative, Google will not stand, other Tesla will not stand. So we will be a much more independent country, which is self-reliant and self-progressive. Thank you. I think I
Thank you,
took
sir.
too much time.
No, sir, it was fine. So
Thank you,
I would
sir.
like to share a story. When I was young, my superhero was always my pediatrician, means who was my child doctor. And he used to always influence me. I used to listen him so keenly. So, and this day I will think that every child who is listening to you will get samely influenced by you. So it's a great, sir. It's a
I
great
am
honor.
also told by many of my parents that, sir, Amar Bacha apnar acting kore, and he acts like Dr. Mittal and gives injections to, their father, mother, and doll and everything. I said, it's okay, it's fun to do that, but then please try to pinpoint. It's a parental responsibility also. Everything is not on teachers. And I hear this again and again. Teacher ye nahi kiya, teacher wo nahi kiya. As parent, what are we doing? So it's a joint responsibility of parent and the teacher to find out, even to find out yourself that your children is going into which direction, and promote that if that is good, and stop that or curb that if that is bad, is going to make the change.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely. Moving on, we have a dance performance by the students of class 11th now.
I just have a request. Can I leave so that I can attend to my professional?
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you. Thank you
sir.
very much.
Or
Let the
it's
dance performance.
carry on. Yes.
যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে। যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে। একলা চলো, একলা চলো, একলা চলো, একলা চলো রে। যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে। तन्हा राही अपनी राह चलता जाएगा, तन्हा राही अपनी राह चलता जाएगा। अब तो जो भी होगा देखा जाएगा, अब तो जो भी होगा देखा जाएगा। अब तो जो भी होगा देखा जाएगा। कितना हो मुश्किलों का मगर ना झुका है ना झुक सकेगा ये सर। जिंदा फिर भी रहेगा मेरा ज़मीन, जिस्म को मौत भी आ जाए अगर। तन्हा राही अपनी राह चलता जाएगा, तन्हा राही अपनी राह चलता जाएगा। अब तो जो होगा देखा जाएगा।
That was a great show. And now, to put an end to the wonderful day, I would request respected Bonali ma'am to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Orithro. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are.
Thank you so much.
Go ahead, ma'am. You're audible. Sonali, ma'am.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Okay. Thank you so much. The hour repeats itself to remind the peninsula natives with their Purna Swaraj. Thus, this hour is a grace to the ones who still find refuge under the transcendence of the freedom fighters. And I feel an earth of gratitude in my heart each time we meet this day, with a celebration at heart and harbor. On such an elated occasion, I extend my heartfelt gratification. And I wish to share my appease at Moshe Mittal's time. He had sought for us such a knowledge mind and learned heart who cares for life and living, knows the strength to medicate and heal wounds. And today is the day that reminds each one of us of the beautiful battle we fought for our brothers and sisters that taught us what AIS still seeks of. The teaching to migrate through changes, achieving, inspiring, and succeeding with education for life. Unequivocally, my thanksgiving would lay ungarlanded across the veil of this day to our honored chairman, sir, esteemed director, sir, revered principal, ma'am, and respected headmistress, ma'am. I would maintain that thanks are the highest form of thought and that gratitude is happiness, doubled by wonder. Thus, reclining with my much inhibited self, I culminate my vote of thanks. Thank you so much. Over to you, Orithro.
Thank you, ma'am. A wholesome thank you to all of you to attend the show. You may exit the platform now. Jai
Thank
Hind.
you, Orithro. Thank you, Kollol and Student Council members for putting up a wonderful show in a very, very brief time of preparation. Thank you so much. Happy Republic Day to all of you. We may
Thank you.
sign off now.
Thank you so much.